So, I've never quite done a video such as this. It's something I've been contemplating for a rather long time, just thinking about other things, I guess. A lot of other stuff that goes on, and then, this. It's really quite a nostalgic overload when you just look at the things that made you what you were today and really just contributed to that. And, this and that was one of them, Little Big Planet. It's a big part of my life. To put it bluntly, a lot of what I learned inside of Little Big Planet, just making levels and exploring others' worlds and doing whatever, it was a lot to do with how I developed my passion for game development as I do it now on both of my PCs here. So we'll be taking a delve into really what just made that happen, and gonna revisit some old memories.
You know, it's one of those things you really just didn't even have to contemplate going back. It's just one of those things that just kind of comes to you, and you're just like, oh, well, guess I'll go follow it. And so here I was just thinking about it this Saturday afternoon. I was just drawn back to it. There's a few times I was, and there's a few times I wasn't, but the times I was, I don't know, it's kind of something that just came to me. And really, when it did, I felt a sense of relief, really. It's one of those things you think about, and you think about not just the nostalgia it brought you, going back to it now, but you think about all the years you spent developing your personality while playing the game, and not just because you were playing the game, but over the years you were. It was part of the biggest changes in me that happened during those times when I played the game the most. I remember coming home from school every day, being excited to hop on the game, make new levels. I was that kind of person that would always want to make new levels, and my brother, he would always play, and he wouldn't want me to make new levels, because every time I made new levels I'd take forever. I would screw around, and he just eventually got upset and tired of it, because, you know, he's younger, so at the time he just wanted to go and do and not make, you know. So that's how that went. But besides the point, it was one of the highlights of my life back then. I didn't really have, you know, I still had a lot of depression and anxiety and whatnot jumbled together, and just some kind of elastic ball that just kept on retracting back. And every time I thought about this game and what it brought me when I just wanted to relax and not think about anything, not have to worry about a damn thing in the world, and just focus on making what I loved, it was a big thing for me. It was that point where I came home, and all I could do and think about was just what I was gonna make next in a level, or what I was gonna play, or what ideas I had going up in my head, just waiting to sprout out into a level that I wanted to make for the community. And every day it was that and more. Really, what it brought me was a mindset that I never had quite before. In digital, before I had a lot of the same mindset, but it was for literature. And when I wrote, I wrote all my life. When I did, I was deep into what I wrote. Regardless of the sense it made, as young as I was, and regardless of how correctly it was written, or how the grammar was, I just spilled out what I had in my mind. Even to this day, I look back at some of these old writings and I see what I thought, my creativity. And this game, Little Big Planet, it brought more to the table than most realize. Really, it made me, it gave me a spark for what I do now, which is game development. And as I am a freelance game developer, I still look back to these days of how I started on a game by the name of Little Big Planet, and really it was there when it started because I would screw around with the logic processors and whatnot, and always be so intrigued by how they worked in the game itself, and I wanted to know more. And so over the years, I guess I did. Came a time where I had a few teachers, some inspirations that lent me a bigger hand to that. Yes, I took a break in between, but it came back to me, and I realized why. And when I realized why, it was, well, it's because of my roots, because of where I started. Well, this was it. This was where I started, and this is where I began. And really, when I think about it every time, it's both an emotional and a relieving, relaxing, and just overall nostalgic process when we go back, but in a very good way. It's that kind of feeling you get when you look back at what made you you, and you just feel proud. You feel like it got you somewhere, even though you may not be where you want to be now. You know it's one of the reasons you're at least somewhere near where you wanted to be in the first place. It's just a relief to me. So, all in all, it's one hell of an experience for me. I remember writing notes down before I got out of school just to remember what I wanted to make when I got out, because I was afraid I'd forget. So I'd write down all these ideas that I had, and I'd go home and I'd just have at it, really. And the amount of time I spent doing it, I poured my heart and soul into it, and it's just one of those things that made me who I am today, and for that I'll never forget it. So I just wanted to make this tribute-ish video on. I want it to be more than a tribute, but I wanted to make this video to tell you all how much this game really meant to me, and not just tell you how much it meant to me, but just explain to you that sometimes even the unlikeliest inspirations, seemingly so to others, or maybe even to yourself, can turn out to be something that kind of changes you, and you may not realize it, but it does. Changes you. Doesn't just kind of change you, but it really alters you in a way where you start to feel better about yourself. You start to feel better about things in general, and you know how to think, act more appropriately in that manner. For that, I thank it. So, thank you, Little Big Planet, and thank you, Media Molecule, and Sumo Digital too. I had a good amount of years on Little Big Planet 3 as well, and I will say, I'll never forget it. Peace out, guys, and have a good day. It's been Aerix Games, out.